Hello, today I will be running the 200 marker category in Roblox games Find the Markers, and I'll be showing you all the cool tricks and strategies that are used to get all of them. Let's get into the run. Now what I'll be doing here is I'll be resetting it for an optimal spawn. The reason why is so that I can get more markers faster. Right here I do get the spawn. I set up a skull emoji for a marker. And just like that, the run begins. I start off by immediately getting 5 markers, have a little bit of a slip up at the beginning, but it's fine. Then we'll be getting Thief, marker on the big black base plate, and 90-degree marker. Right off the bat, we start off with the hardest trick in the run. We have to go on this invisible platform to get to 90-degree marker, except there's a little deviation off the path, so I have to jump at a very specific area to get to the marker. What I'm doing here is I'm gonna enter a house to get a few more markers and grab the wrench. This wrench will be used to get other markers throughout the run. A lot of these in-between sections are just gonna be getting markers, so if you hear any silence throughout the run, that's just because there's not really much to explain. This obby is worth some explaining though. You'll see me turn off and on my sprint using the control key, and this makes it easier to do certain jumps, like these really tight, super thin studs. Anyways, I do to get the marker and I move on to the other ones in the run. Now after getting Cyan here, I have to get Devil marker. There's a little platform that is super visible that you can jump down to, and you have to follow this little thin pathway to get to it. There's a slight area in the cave where you can just jump down to that pathway, like halfway into it. It's a little hard, but it's pretty easy. Now just right there, you saw that I had to type in some text in order to get wild marker. This text is Pray to Wildcard, and it takes a fair bit amount of time to type it for me, so what I do is I just copy and paste the text. It makes it a lot faster, and it's just, yeah, it saves a whole bunch of time. Now right here, I am talking to Stack marker. I have to collect his little buddies around the map so that I can get the marker. You also saw that I got Quest marker. This is super useful for later in the run because that means I don't have to get him later. Next, we're going into the cave to get a bunch of other markers. The most notable one here is Spider marker. It's like they have a whole bunch of webs that you have to parkour on, and those can either be really hard or really easy. It just depends on how you're feeling. There's not really much to explain in this cave area, so I'll just let you see for yourself. So, yeah, the audio kind of did cut out here. My computer alarm went off literally as this section started to happen, so it'll take me a little bit to turn it off, but yeah, it's nothing like crazy like a cut. It's just unfortunate alarm. The audio does come back on. Turn it off. Slightly paused. What I'll be doing here is getting orange, camo, snowman, and mint. I have to bounce off of camo to get to snowman really easily. It's just a little tech of the run. After getting these markers, I'll have to be getting flan marker. This is a particularly hard marker, but using my control key to turn off and on my sprint, it makes the jumps a lot easier and more consistent, so that you don't die and reset every run. Next, I'll be getting Snow, Flamingo, Explode, and then Catso, which is our split marker. Flamingo is in this little hole. It's fairly simple. Explode, I have to press that red button that we saw. And for Catso, I have to do /E laugh, which I type in the chat so I can get prepared. Now that we've gone Catso, it's time to get a few markers prepared. First, I go into the cabin so I can get yellow marker for the stack marker. Then I go upstairs and get a glass of milk. This will be used for a later marker called Milk and Cookies marker. You'll see me jump up to Candyland, the next big area in this speedrun. You'll see me grab a paper for Zen, which is later in the run. And you'll see me run over to where this code is, check it, and it's really good. Then I go back to get Strakia because I almost missed it. That would have been terrible. Anyways, going back to the code, you saw that there was a green button at the very end of the code. That means that the code is good. If green is anywhere else, that means it's bad and it's a reset. You'll see me go into the gingerbread house to get gingerbread marker and click the red button. Then you'll see me stand in front of the TV to get static marker, which I get like almost immediately. This never happens, and this is extremely lucky. This is now on pace to be the best Candyland split ever, which is just insane. You'll see me get peppermint marker, click a blue button, which for the code. I'll get popsicle marker hidden behind this ledge, and then I have to go through this invisible maze to get transparent marker. This goes pretty well. The next marker I need is cinnamon marker. These are really tight, thin jumps, but somehow, miraculously, I get all of them first try, meaning that this is very, very good pace. The only time that I do lose in Candyland is having to go get the yellow button. This code that I got wasn't optimal, but it was still pretty good. Then you'll be seeing me climb up this ledge so that I can jump down to a lollipop down below, climb on a little rope to get salted caramel marker, then jump down and get licorice marker, then get feta cheese marker. And this is where I get the green button. This is why the green button always needs to be last in the run. I jump over the chocolate river to get chocolate marker, and then I have to go over to the gummy area, do a little wraparound to get gummy marker, which is almost the end of Candyland. I now need to go down the slide so I can get to marshmallow marker. Then I have to backtrack my way and get to candy cane marker, do this little bit of an obby. Then I have to jump down and get triple scoop marker, second split marker, including Candyland, and moving on to the next part of the run. At this point, the nerves are starting to build up, as this is probably my best pace that I've ever been on, ever. So that's a cool fact. The next markers I'll be getting are obby marker and jump scare marker, so I have to do this obby. Yeah, fairly simple. That's basically all there is to that. You see me jump down to get to a pine tree to start the next obby, pine tree marker. This, it goes well at first, but then later into the obby I do mess up. This costs me about 10 seconds, so this is the first, like, big-ish time loss in the run. Luckily I do clutch it up and get the marker, so I can move on, get out of the obby, and then move on to Zanwood marker, just in the floor, and then the next few markers. You'll see me walk over to this box to type in a code that you normally have to find across the Roblox page. This is to get alternate marker. Then I go back and get winning marker. You can only get this marker if you have the winning smile on. Then I get the red stack marker, turn on a switch, which will be used for a leader marker. Then get gold brick marker. Then I have to go to the house with the chimney to get brick marker in the chimney, obviously. Then I have to go into the clouds to immediately jump down and get a skydiver marker. Then I have to jump on this specific tree. This tree saves a little bit of time, so I can get the final stack marker, the green one. And then I jump down, get into this little hole, get bendy straw marker, and then turn on the water supply, which will be used for bubble bath marker. The next few markers are fairly simple. You just need to follow the route and get them all. Another thing I forgot to mention is that when I turn on the water supply, you saw me quickly repair a little hole. This is the first application of the wrench that we got way back early in the run. I hit spawn. You'll see me climb up that house, jump a few trees, and get leaf marker. This is important, as this kind of marks the next section of the run where you have to go to the factory and get all the markers there. You'll see me get smoke marker. This marker is a little finicky, as when you exit the teleport area, you always ragdoll. There is a way to skip this. I've only done it like twice. So yeah, I'm not sure how the physics works on that. You'll see me get Quicksilver, which is near where smoke marker is, and then you'll see me enter the factory. You saw me earlier go back into the factory to check the clock. This is important as it makes it so that I can get time marker early. This is super useful. That means I don't have to spend later time in the run trying to get time marker. I'm doing the obby for lava jump marker. You saw me grab another note for Zen marker. Then I have to go back and get a key to open up another part of the factory. But before I go to there, I have to get permanent marker, which is on this table. Going back, I get box marker, which is why we needed the key. Then you see me jump into the pit. This is to get oopsie marker, white marker, and then rust marker. Oopsie is a little hard to get, but yeah, it's fairly simple. After getting rust, I get the two markers that are also located in here. Those are fairly easy. Then I get back out, I get dark green marker and fix the next water leak. And then I get to the underwater area. After getting navy marker, you'll see me talk to ecosystem marker. You have to collect like 6 or 7 fish and return them back to them so that you can get the marker. You'll be seeing me get these fish and also getting a few other markers located here in between. After getting all the fish, I return to ecosystem marker to get the marker. Another application of the bench is opening up this crate to get quagmire marker. And then I move on to the shop. The shop has a bunch of really easy markers in it, but the most important reason why I'm going to the shop is to get the cookies to match with the milk that we got way back when, so that I can finish off milk and cookies marker. I'm next headed back to the spawn to collect the last few markers that I need. I get one of the final water leaks after entering the gallery to get deleted marker. Then I go back and get what I thought I got was magenta void marker, but I completely missed him. So now I have to go back, which wastes like 6 or 7 seconds, which is really annoying. I then go to the oddly colored not green tree to get 2 more markers in here. After getting these, I then move on to the shop where a lot of the markers are and where the final water leaks are, so I can get bubble bath marker. This next section is fairly simple. I just go into the houses where all the markers are and just get them. After getting the final water leaks, I go into the house where bubble bath is located. I first have to get marker plier and spam his computer so I can get error marker. And then I head upstairs and finally get bubble bath marker. Again, I just go back into the houses to get the final few markers. After getting baby marker, I exit the city area for a little bit to go to the desert. I have to get tan marker and then another note for Zen marker. Then I drop into the hole to get pebble marker and then crayon. Not a marker, crayon. This is the next split marker that we need. Next we enter what I think is one of the cooler sections of the run, space. After entering the rocket located in the basement, I head to Mars. I have to get rocket marker and then oil marker. And then after that, I have to head to alien marker. After arriving to alien, we have to click the buttons to light up the lights and unlock alien marker. Best way to do this is by pressing buttons 2, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5. This makes it really easy and it's just generally faster. Jumping off the UFO into the void is a lot faster than just walking to the laboratory. But we don't enter just yet. We have to go under the staircase to get the plasma. You have to dodge all these lasers, and this is really hard sometimes, but luckily I get this first try, making it fairly fast. After that, we have to get to star marker, and then we have to retrace our steps and head to stardust marker. At this point in the run, I'm getting fairly nervous. This is amazing pace. I've only been on this kind of run like 4 or 5 times. Next we have to get to Martian and Nebula, but it's a fairly long walk, so we'll get there when we'll get there. After getting Martian, we have to climb up this like pillar to get to Nebula. And then after that, we have to jump down in a specific area so that we can get to space. After that, we have to get space marker, and then we have to wait for comet marker, which appears on a comet. This run, I get it fairly fast. Is like really good, so I can move on straight to the void. In the void, I have to go through this maze to get 3 markers. We have to get void marker, inverted marker, and ... So we have to press that button. That's for inverted marker. Then after getting through the maze, we can move on to the moon. So on the moon, we have to get this crystal that we have to put in a microwave so that we can get a moon gem marker, right? I think that's what it's called. Anyways, on the way there, we get cheese, get moonstone, and then we have to climb up the pillar that moonstone's on to get suspicious marker. After doing all of that, we have to go to the desert. This is where those are the markers that we need for this split are. We have to go inside the pyramid to get salmon marker. Then we have to go to this misplaced brick to get vermilion and strawberry marker. It's fairly simple. After that, we have to go up, climb an invisible truss on the top of the pyramid to get sandstorm marker, and then we jump down to get liquid marker, we get cactus marker, and then we move on to flower marker. Here's another cool piece of tech. Normally you'd have to run through the propellers and pray that you can get hit off, but you can just jump on top of them and get through with no problem. This makes getting flower marker super easy. After getting sand marker in the temple, we just have to go up and get temple marker, the final marker that we need for the split. After that, we have to go back into the house to get milk and cookies marker, which we completed a fairly long time ago. Then we have to climb on top of the house, get to an area, and we have to jump down the ledge to get mega marker and one of the final notes that we need for Zen marker. After that, we have to go back to the clouds, get cloud marker, and then we have to get molding marker. Now, after we get molding marker, we have to jump to a very specific tree. This makes getting the rest of the markers for this little bit super easy, which we do in this run. So then we get blue marker, wood marker, grass marker, skinny marker, rock marker, and then we go all the way back to marker stack, which we completed like 12 minutes ago in the run. This next segment is probably the coolest in the run. So at this point we have to go back up into the clouds, and there's a marker that normally you'd have to do this mini game. We have to dodge the clouds and get to the end to get the marker. But community member Floof found that if you stand under the balloons where you start floating, you can completely skip this mini game, saving 40 seconds. It's called Under Crossing Barriers Balloon Skip, or UBB for short. The next marker that we need is Stormy Marker, and this can easily be the hardest marker in the run. You have to jump down to a slightly invisible cross, and first collect a note to complete that marker and get the marker itself. Depending on the nerves and just how you're feeling, you can either get it immediately or fail a few times. I fail it, I think, twice in this run, and it wastes about 20 seconds. So my huge lead is suddenly starting to diminish. And it doesn't help that after Stormy Marker, we have to jump down to these rocks to collect Chicken Marker, Balloon Marker, and Sunburnt Marker. Chicken's fairly easy, but Balloon, again, it can be either really hard or really easy. So luckily I get it first try this run, which is particularly useful. And then I get Sunburnt, and then I have to go back to the cabin to collect the markers there and to finish off Zen Marker. So entering the cabin, you have to go upstairs, that's where all the markers are located. But right off the bat, you see me go to the microwave and type in my user ID. This is used for Noob Marker. And yeah, you have to type in your user ID to get this marker. You'll also see this chocolate coin. That is the final item that you need to collect Zen Marker. Now I have to go to Mountain, easily the hardest section in the run. So right off the bat, I have to climb up the mountain to get Bone Marker, Rock Slide Marker, and Paper Marker. Rock Slide Marker, once you activate the TNT, like boulders start falling from the mountain, and depending on your RNG, you can die and easily miss like 10 seconds. So that's really bad, but luckily this goes smoothly and everything's fine. Next, I have to escalate further up the mountain to get Goat Marker and Aurora Marker. So yeah, so you have to climb up these planks and like do some jumps to get to Goat Marker. And then you have to climb up to the top of the mountain, climb a truss, and go on this rainbow path. You can actually skip a little bit of this path, which saves just like a little bit of time. And if you fall off Aurora's like platform just right, you can like land where Goat Marker is, which also saves a few seconds. So these go nicely, and this section's starting to look good. So you see me get pink, and next I have to get rainbow. This is an obby marker. It's fairly easy, and this is when the run starts to fall apart. So I have to get ivory and shadow marker. So I'm going to ivory, it's another obby marker, and I missed the jump. Like I hit the ceiling somehow and I fell. So now I have to climb up to back where I was. And this wastes like 15 seconds. So this is a pretty big time loss this late into the run. And yeah, it's just not looking good. However, I do make a quick recovery, which is actually really good. And I get the markers in the cave, which is big orange, brown, and then I have to enter the keyboard area. So I have to type in a few codes that open up rooms for markers. So the first one is invert, which opens up for evil marker. Mr. Marker Maker, which is the creator of the game, which opens up the teapot marker. And then I have to type in Hill Rock 3 times in order to get cough drop marker. Cough drop marker is a little annoying to get as there's this big pop-up and you can't really see the keys, so you kind of have to memorize where the keys are and just hope that you type it in right. This section goes fine. Once I get all the markers, you'll see me type in difficulty. This is to enter the first new dimension of the run. Now you might be thinking, why did I just enter the hardest dimension in the run? This is to get just this one marker. It's Serenity marker. Super easy to get, and like once I get that, I just leave and go back to the main world. Yeah, that's all why I came here. So once I'm back here, I have to get settings marker. This is found in the settings UI. So fairly simple, and this is actually the final overworld marker we need. I then enter the clock tower that you see in the city area, which leads us to the final dimension of the run, Washable Kingdom. So there's no time to waste, so I immediately go straight to the marker area to get Primrose marker, start Merchant marker, and I have to collect 10 coins around the map, and then I have to get Fisher marker. This is fairly easy, but with this route I get the coins that I need over like the course of the run. I then have to do Flytrap marker. This one's actually super easy. It's just like a simple tower obby, and once you've done this run so many times, it becomes like super easy. So you'll see me grab the coin from the tree and then do the obby. Once that's done, I go over to the bioluminescent area, the magical forest, I think it's what it's called. So you'll see me, well, first of all, get the coins, but you'll also see me click these mushrooms. Clicking them in a certain order will get me bioluminescent marker. Yeah, that's basically all there is to it. You'll see me grab a silver coin, bluegrass marker, and then waterfall marker. And then the next one I have to do is medium blue marker, another like obby, super easy. And then you'll see me click the final mushrooms for bioluminescent marker, which wraps up this segment. Next, I have to enter the castle. So you'll see me walk in. I have to collect wizard marker, grab a few more coins while getting king marker, and then I'll go upstairs to grab a few more coins and get knight marker. This one you have to fight knight marker. Sometimes he'll kill you and that wastes like a ton of time, but I get him really fast, which is really good. Then I go up to another tower to get gilded marker. This is like it's a little hard to get. But once you do that, you just jump down to get archer marker, and you have to go behind the castle area to get cobblestone marker. At this point, this is basically the home stretch of the run. So you'll see me enter the swamp area to get princess marker and mud marker, and then I have to jump on these lily pads to get, first of all, firefly marker and the coin that's in the trees. Once you see me do that, I have to jump down to another lily pad with a flower on it to get lily pad marker. Then once I jump out, I have to go behind the big mountain to get ice marker. Then I have to teleport back to spawn so that I can immediately jump up a lily pad to scale a little bit of the mountain. It saves like a few seconds. You'll see me dodge these lava pools. There's this like lava bridge, and I have to jump into there to get one of the final coins for the merchant marker. Once I do that, I go back up. I have to jump down a little edge to get torch marker. And then I collect the final coin for merchant marker, get dragon marker, and then I'm on my way. So I jumped back down to the market. That silver coin that I collected earlier was used for tip jar marker. Then I go to merchant marker, talk to him, and finally finish him off. Then I have to do a little wrap around to get BFDI marker, and suddenly we're on the final marker of the run. After jumping down and collecting mushroom marker, the final time is a 28:56, the new 200 marker world record, and the first sub 29. At this point, I just got up with my chair and started running around. This was insane. This took me so long. A sub 29 in this category is just ridiculous. Even with all the big time losses that I made along the way, it's done. I did it. Yeah, so first of all, I will link the 200 marker route in some organized document and probably link it down below in the description. Second of all, this is not only like an analysis slash like guide, this is also a submission for RGDQ Roblox Games Done Quick. And if this gets accepted, I will be running 200 markers live over there. So yeah, if it happens, I'll let you guys know. And otherwise, that's my 200 marker world record. Until then, remember to wear your seatbelt.